extra here. Okay, that's garbage. Okay, so now this is tricky. Hopefully you have enough jean to fit it around. I do. These are 2T. So the little ones, you know, once you get around like 6 months, or if you're doing this for a 12-month size or 9 months, whatever, it might not fit over your arm here. So you're going to kind of have to manipulate it with your hands, and it gets a little tricky, but it can be done. Okay, so now we're just sewing the ruffle on to the jean now. I recommend starting at the seam. Again, you always kind of want to start at the seam whenever you're doing something. Kind of hides any imperfections. Your back stitch. Make sure you pull out your pins. You're going to kind of have to turn the jean as you're going. And you're just sewing over the gathers. You do want to save yourself time, you want to sew to the left of your gathering stitch. So you already have a stitch in here from where you made the gathers. You want to sew a little bit to the left. The reason is if you sew to the right, or if you kind of sew on top of it, when you flip your ruffle over, you'll see that gathering stitch, and then you're going to have to get your seam ripper, and you'll be busy doing that. So make sure you sew to the left. Now, we'll clean up this mess in a minute, but once you fold it over, you have a nice, pretty ruffle. See? Okay. Now, if you want, you can, you know, kind of leave it messy like this. I don't really recommend it. I do recommend that you finish it. What I would normally do is use my serger, but most, you know, people don't have sergers, so you can just use a finishing stitch. So you're just going to put it back in there. I'm sorry, not a finishing stitch, a zigzag stitch. And you might need to make the width of your stitch a little bit higher, just so it goes over the seam. And if you left a big seam, so if this was like really thick, you'd want to trim it first. Mine's pretty thin, it's only about 1/4 inch, so I'm just going to go right over it. Back stitch. So now my seam is finished. So then when you put it in the washer, you know, it doesn't start to fray. Okay, so now it's cleanup time. Okay, so last thing you want to do is, like I was saying, you have this seam that you finished, but it's still kind of uncomfortable, I think, for the little ones. So you want to do a top stitch. So basically it's holding this seam down inside so it's not, you know, brushing all over their leg and whatnot. So I also want to trim any stray thread. Okay, I recommend using a color that is the color of the actual pant. So I probably should be using blue because they're blue jeans, but you know, I think pink will be fine too. Denim, it doesn't really matter, but if you were doing this on like a white pair of jeans, you'd want to have white thread for your top stitching. Okay. so again, just make sure you start at a seam, back stitch, and then you're just going to go all the way around, and you're going to stay close because you want to make sure that that seam underneath there is being caught. You might have to help it once you get to the denim seam. So you just kind of pull it along with it. Back stitch. Okay, so just want to do final trimming. Make sure you get everything on the inside. Okay, so now that seam is sewn to the jean, so it's not flapping around in there. That it won't bother the child. And then you could just see I chose pink, and pink's fine. So, all right, so there you have it. Just do a final cleanup. Look for any stray thread, and there you go. You have your little longer jeans. I know we're just about getting into the summer months, but you could do this for shorts, any jean shorts that still fit her in the waist but are just a little bit too short. You could add a little ruffle on the bottom. You could do it for capris, you could do it for anything. Shirts even, you know, the possibilities are pretty endless. So, there you go. Please email me or leave a comment on any questions you have, or if you have any suggestions for future tutorials. Okay? Thanks a lot for watching.